boys and girls. So now we're going to read Have You Filled a Bucket Today? This is a guide to daily happiness for kids. Now, some of you may have read this book in a different place, like home, at the babysitter's, at a friend's house. It's a very, very popular book, but we're going to read it together as a class today so we know how to fill our bucket and how to fill other people's buckets. So let's get started. Have you filled a bucket today? A guide to daily happiness for kids. This is written by Carol McLeod and illustrated by David Messing. All day long, everyone in the whole wide world walks around carrying an invisible bucket. So boys and girls, can we brainstorm some ways that what we think our invisible buckets could look like, or how is this invisible bucket possible to carry around? What do we think is going to happen in the next page of the book? You can't see it, but it's there. You have a bucket. Each member of your family has a bucket. So I want you guys to think about how many family members do you have? So how many buckets does your family have? So for me, I have me, my mom, dad, and brother. So that would be 3 invisible buckets plus mine, which would be 4. We have 4 invisible buckets as a family. Your grandparents, friends, and neighbors all have buckets. Everyone carries an invisible bucket around. What do we think is going to happen next? Your bucket has one purpose only. Its purpose is to hold your good thoughts and good feelings about yourself. Boys and girls, can you think of some good thoughts and feelings that you have about yourself? You feel happy and good when your bucket is full, and you feel sad and lonely when your bucket is empty. What do we think is going to happen on the next page? What are some things we might see on the next page, boys and girls? Other people feel the same way too. They're happy when their buckets are full, and they're sad when their buckets are empty. It's great to have a full bucket, and this is how it works. How do we think that this works? What are some ways that we can fill our bucket, and how does this work? Other people can fill your bucket, and you could fill theirs. You could fill your own bucket too. So how do you fill a bucket? How do we fill a bucket? What are some ways we can fill our bucket? Remember that doing kind and caring, happy things fills our bucket? What are some ways that you could fill your bucket? You fill a bucket when you show love to someone, when you say or do something kind, or even when you give someone a smile. That's pretty simple. That's being a bucket filler. A bucket filler is a loving, caring person who says and does nice things to make others feel special. When you treat others with kindness and respect, you fill their buckets. What are some ways to treat others with kindness and respect? We read this in our first book, What Does It Mean to Be Kind? But you can also dip into a bucket and take out some good feelings. You dip into a bucket when you make fun of someone, when you say or do mean things, or even when you ignore someone. That is bucket dipping. See how she's taking all of the kindness and good feelings out of her bucket? That's not very nice. Bullying is bucket dipping. When you hurt others, you dip into their bucket. You will dip into your own bucket too. Many people who dip have an empty bucket. They may think they can fill their own bucket by dipping into someone else's, but that will never ever work. You never fill your own bucket when you dip into someone else's bucket. But guess what? When you fill someone's bucket, you fill your own bucket too. You feel good when you help others feel good. What are some ways we can help others feel good? What do we think is going to be some examples on the next page? All day long, you're either filling up or dipping into each other's buckets by what we say and what we do. Try to fill a bucket and see what happens. You love your mom and dad. Why not tell them you love them? You can even tell them why. Your caring words will fill their buckets with joy. What are some things that we could tell our parents, guardians, grandparents, nice things to fill their buckets? Watch for smiles to light up their faces. You will feel them smiling too. A smile is a good clue that you have filled a bucket. If you practice, you'll become a great bucket filler. Just remember that everyone carries an invisible bucket, and think of what you can say or do to fill it. Here are some ideas for you. You could smile and say hi to the bus driver. He has a bucket too. What do we think is going to be on the next page? What are some different ideas for people to smile and for you to fill their buckets? You could invite the new kid to school to play with you. You could write a thank you note to your teacher. That's really nice. You could tell your grandpa that you like spending time with him. There are many ways to fill a bucket. Bucket filling is fun and easy to do, but it doesn't matter how young or old you are. It doesn't cost money and it doesn't take much time. And remember, when you fill someone else's bucket, you're filling your own bucket too. Boys and girls, why could that be? Why, when you fill someone else's bucket, you're filling your own? I just want you guys to think about that for a second. When you're a bucket filler, you make your home, your school, and your neighborhood better places for all. Bucket filling makes everyone feel good. So why not decide to be a bucket filler today and every day? Just start each day by saying to yourself, I'm going to do something to fill someone's bucket today. Can we say that, boys and girls? I'm going to do something to fill someone's bucket today. At the end of each day, ask yourself, did I fill a bucket today? Can we ask ourselves that? Did we fill a bucket today? Yes, I did. That's the life of a bucket filler. And that's you.